All right. So we're recording right now. You can start whenever.
Mhm.
Oh, we are recording right now.
We are recording
Oh, okay.
right now. Hello, everybody. It's time for Nerd Night Perspectives. We're here to talk about the Fallout show. I got Suzant with us tonight,
Hello.
and Jonathan, of course, seems to always
Howdy.
make it into these things.
I know it. I'm a pest.
So I watched this
How I keep making
show.
my way in.
So I made the awesome decision to watch this show as soon as it came out, and I just like binge watched the entire thing in like one night. How about you guys? How did you guys watch this?
So for me, I saw the reviews and you saw everybody saw like the Instagram ads and
Mm-hmm.
all the clips and stuff coming out. So obviously I was fired up because I'm a huge
Mm-hmm.
fucking Fallout nerd,
Oh yeah, dude.
and I was fired
Fuck
up,
yeah.
man. So hey, check it out. It's on Prime. Let's look at it. And I think I watched like one episode, thought it was pretty good, forgot about it for like a week, finished like almost the entire season in one night as well, and then forgot about it until you invited me to this, and then I watched the last episode.
Oh
Very
yeah.
That's
nice.
how it went, yeah.
I wanted you to do this because I know you're a big Fallout fan. You even got like Magic the Gathering. You got like a whole fucking deck of.
Hey, don't call me out, man. The female population can never hear about my Magic collection, dude.
Yeah, no, it is rad, dude. You got the deck that fucks, dude. It's the Caesar's Legion, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, dude, that guy is absolutely a Chad.
Chad, out of his
Yeah.
mind. Roman. It's
Fuck
like
yeah.
you
No,
go.
his whole premise is you just sacrifice people for your gain. It's awesome.
I know it is kind of like the natural progression of like the I'm gonna say the incel male of just like he just keeps reading about the Roman Empire until eventually he's like, we should just make the Roman Empire now.
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely, dude. That is literally it. Yeah.
Roman Andrew Tate.
Jonathan, you're also a big fan of the Fallout game series.
Yeah, mostly just 3 in New Vegas,
Mostly
But
three
those two
movies.
together, I probably put in at least 1,500 hours
Yeah,
between the two.
so far you've played New Vegas so many times that it wasn't until like last year that you started playing Fallout 4, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Game that's been
Yeah, and
out
I haven't
for
beaten
nearly
Fallout
9
4 yet.
years.
I'm kind of stuck in New Harbor, like just struggling, just dying. I'm on survival.
Yeah,
I've
Oh
never played
man.
Fallout 4 before. I'm playing survival, and it's horrible. I'm like dying so
Yeah.
much.
you're
I can't,
surviving.
I can't save anywhere. Like I'll travel across New Harbor, die, and end up all the way back. Like,
Oh
Harbor.
man.
Far Harbor. Thank you. Sorry,
Oh,
my bad.
what do you guys love about Fallout? What is like
Well, for me personally, it's like you can do whatever the fuck you want. I mean, I think New Vegas was my first one, and I kind of backtracked to 3, and played 4, and then so on and so forth. I wasn't so hardcore. I played the 1 and 2, but for
I
me,
know,
as a kid, I remember firing it up on my like fucking like Dell laptop, like 10 frames per second,
yeah.
and like not even getting past the first mission where Sunny Smiles takes you to kill the geckos because I was like a retarded fucking 8-year-old, you know.
The
But
geckos are
then,
so fast. How do I aim?
yeah, like I mean, and then I figured out console commands. I mean, like I played this game all fucking backwards, you know.
Mhm.
Like I was way too young. But anyways, you revisit the game, you just play more and more and more. You just play the game however you want to, and then like I say that, I take the vanilla approach because I was just like a kid, you want to be the hero. So you
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
the right, you did the good playthrough, but come back like a year later and you can do the negative playthrough. It's just super interesting. Every choice you make leads to like a different outcome. So that's what I love about Fallout. It's the replayability of it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
replayability is the best bang for your buck. You know, they say like I think $1 an hour for gameplay, so you should get like $60 a gameplay for a $60 game, like 60 hours. But um, being able to do that because I had a similar alluring aspect of that. When I first played Fallout, it was Fallout 3, and it was actually first time I played. I rented it at a video experience. That and I didn't have that much time to play, but I was, I obviously nuked Megaton, and I couldn't believe I was able to do that. I'm like 12 years old, 11 years old, or something, and like
power
I'm just like, dude, I just nuked a town. This is insane. Um, and I hadn't really, the only time, especially at that time, that I'd seen a game that gave you that kind of choices and replayability and just different endings was the first Fable, which on the original Xbox.
Oh
when you could be pure good, pure evil, or even something kind of in between. But
you also make your guy like a big fat fuck.
God, it's been so long, but I want to say yes. Certainly in Fable 2, I want to say, but it's been a long time since I played those games. But I'm just saying that like Fable and Fallout, and really kind of played that multiple endings, options, where you actually have a choice. You're not just going through the story. You get to make your story in a way, or at least choose your story.
Yeah, like I am always a big softy, especially when the writing's really good in a game. Like I always just like, oh, I want to do an evil playthrough, and I do like the first evil thing, and I go, oh, that's all. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
But New Vegas, I'm thinking about doing like just a low intelligence Legion run, dude, and just like be all melee, just be just the biggest brick-brained moron, just chopping through people.
If you really want to like experience a true low intelligence gameplay run through, like the first Fallout and the second Fallout, based off the videos I've seen, I haven't played it myself. Like there is literally like low intelligence like dialogue options. Like you can respond to like a long villain monologue with just that's it. I think if you're gonna do it that way, that's gonna be the most rewarding Fallout game to play it on.
Well, that is something about like New Vegas that I didn't fully appreciate the first time I played it, because every game I played, there's a way that you're supposed to play the storyline. And I played New Vegas, and I was just trying to play like good guy and just trying to play like, how do I not break this game? Until I saw H Bomber guy's video on it, and he just said, you can do whatever you want. You can kill essential players, and the game compensates for that. Like, that guy.
That's what Yes Man's for.
Yeah.
He's the default, dude. If you fucking kill everybody else.
He's the only like NPC you can't murk, dude. Crazy.
Which absolutely rules. I've been a big Bethesda game fan for a long time. I started with Oblivion, but Fallout.
Yeah.
I borrowed from a friend, and we had both wildly different experiences, because I was the savior of humanity by the end of it, and he looked at me and he gave me a really funny look, and he went, "Oh, really? I was the scourge of humanity by the end of it."
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of Bethesda, my first experience was Elder Scrolls as well with Morrowind on the original Xbox.
Oh, Morrowind.
My cousins would play it on PC, but I didn't play that much because I was really young. Oblivion was really the one that really got me truly into Elder Scrolls.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was also older, able to actually understand the gaming mechanics a little better and stuff like that.
When you hit things, it didn't just say miss, 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 miss.
So it's always like that, Morrowind's always been riddled with difficulties. I don't know how you guys feel about the progression from like Morrowind to Oblivion to Skyrim, and then when we talk about what possibly Elder Scrolls 6 is going to look like. Any thoughts or anything?
The real cynical side of me is just like, it's going to be a more watered down version of Skyrim, which Skyrim was a more watered down version of Oblivion, and Oblivion was a more watered down. Actually, I think Oblivion was a more streamlined version of Morrowind, but it was slightly watered down for but of course, Oblivion had its own problems with the leveling system and stuff like that. But I think I'm worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I once played it through. I tried to play it through where basically I had all my main stuff like your attack, your magic, all that stuff as you're leveling up, and you actually don't really want to do that because I basically played it like Skyrim the last time I went through Oblivion and just did side quests and crap, and then came back, but I was leveled up. But it was like all my I said it totally wrong. Where I had like pointless stuff level up. So it would level me up, but my actual fighting skills didn't go up.
Oh.
And so the game would treat me like I was like a level 14, even though I'm really like a level 4. Like, trying to go back to Kvatch. Like I left Kvatch. I didn't do anything. I came back to it, and there's like the spider chicks and the storm archinox. And just stuff that should not be when Kvatch first, opens. So.
I know, like your sword skill level is really low, but you're really good at lockpicking.
Or just jumping, the athletics. I've been jumping around a lot. Love that one button. But anywho, we're definitely starting to get off topic.
Off topic. But
it just shows you how much Bethesda has changed our lives and affected gaming.
Oh yeah.
Even to this day.
Speaking of these games, Fallout London just came out. I say that like we're gonna release this video in time for that to be relevant. But
dude, it's gonna be 2025.
Sky Oblivion. The next Elder Scrolls will be out by the time we release this.
I hope not. That means we'll all be dead.
Hey, you're tracking that it already released, right? Like people can play that.
Yeah, Fallout London.
Oh, yeah.
I can't play it yet because I haven't downloaded it yet.
I got you.
But I
actually haven't really looked into Fallout London. Can you guys kind of brush up on that a little bit?
From what I understand, it's just a bunch of fans that got together, built out like it's basically like a DLC. Are you familiar with like in New Vegas you can go to like the big MT and all that stuff?
Yeah, of course,
complete change of the map. So I think they used the 76/Fallout 4 engine and then they just like redo the map, different story, but it's all fan made, which is super fucking cool, and it's free.
I've been hearing
as long as
really,
yeah. I believe as long as you own the base game, which is 476. I'm not sure which one.
I think it's 4. It's 4.
Is that PC 4. Exclusive or
with all the DLC?
Fallout. Yeah. Let me look it up. Is it PC exclusive?
I think it is because you need to go to a certain website to download it.
Yeah, I saw a Reddit post about someone crying that he can't play it on Xbox yet.
Yeah, that's someone's me.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, I was just curious. All right, Matt.
Start us off.
Well, how can we best enjoy this movie?
Best enjoy this stuff, dude. All right.
Yeah,
so
and what to expect.
The thing that I love about Fallout is the atmosphere, the setting, the actual like it's really like kind of like a really dark show, but it's layered with this very whimsical humor to it. It's got a very dark, fun humor to it. So when you go into this, just focus on having fun with the story and being like I always like to come into things with low expectations, but this one you don't have to, but like you're rewarded for it because you'll just be like, "Oh, this is just me dumb fantasy stuff." But a lot of this stuff is just this world is so well developed and built out that everything in it makes sense and they don't have to ham fist in the Easter eggs into the story in the show. If you're a fan of Fallout and you see them just ham fisting, video game movies constantly are like, let's put in this Easter egg that literally plays no real relevance to the story, but the fans will point at the screen and go, that's a thing in there. Fallout, this show doesn't really do that because all of the things that are references to the game are also like real applications for the world of the show. So when you see someone use a stim pack it's like, I'm pointing at the screen, but that's also like what it's used for. It's not just like, oh, there's a Pip Boy in the back. There's a Pip Boy.
It has purpose to
Yeah,
it.
it has purpose.
Well,
it all makes sense.
Right.
I would also say that they did such a good job at like immersing it and to make it feel real that you can't really do the like obviously like the big things you can, but like the small things, the yum yum deviled eggs or whatever else, you can't really point and do that because it's just there's so many because they're using it like in full utility as like an actual casual object and not an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Like you're saying.
Yeah,
And
that's a really good observation.
And one of my favorite things too is I was able to recommend this to my parents and like have them watch it, and they were like, they didn't have to have any understanding of what Fallout was as a game series or anything like that. This series allows that level of immersion where they just learn everything as they go along. So you don't need that background of knowing what Fallout is or being a fan to really appreciate the show.
For sure.
I loved that. And I loved the factions that they picked. I would love to see more. I'd love to see more of the factions play a role in the next season. But we'll get into that as we talk more about like spoilery stuff. Later in the pod, which we're really bad about. We're probably just going to talk about it anyway, to be honest.
Right. Well, should we go through director and cast?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the director and the cast. We've all like I'm sure we've all seen the cast that has come up and how what's his name? Walton Goggins is in there. Everyone's been a lot of people have been simping. A lot of ladies have been really like liking the old crusty ghoul. I thought that was pretty crazy. But I get it though. He's absolutely rad. He plays.
Might be better looking as a ghoul.
They couldn't have.
No, he looks like the guy from like Big Mouth. I don't know why. He's got like that smile.
That big smile.
Yeah, big ass forehead.
He was absolutely perfectly cast in that role.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I mean, when this show first came out, I follow a lot of groups and stuff like that, Reddit and Facebook and stuff like that about Fallout. A lot of people had a lot of reservations, especially talking about the ghoul being Cooper Howard, Walton Goggins' character, and they're like, "Oh, he looks too handsome and looks too human. He doesn't look all rotted like a lot of early ghouls looked like in the show, in the early games." But honestly, I mean, they've been kind of moving in this direction, and it allows him to emote more. So I'm totally fine with that. Walton Goggins kills it. He's this cool, stoic gunslinger. Also,
really captures the whole spaghetti western feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since he is like in his previous life before he was a ghoul, he was a spaghetti western actor.
He's an actor playing an actor, who turns into a ghoul.
Right.
Dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Not real.
A lot of people. Ella Purnell. I've seen her in a few things. Yellow Jackets, more specifically. I'm not going to spoil that show, but she acted like a dumb bitch in that show, and she got what she got.
I only saw an episode of that show. I never got to actually finish it. Is it any good?
I liked it. I like the show.
Okay. Just curious.
I like it without spoiling too much. I do like the show. I liked Ella Purnell.
I think so. This is my first time seeing Ella Purnell, but I think for the character that she is, this doe-eyed vault dweller, never seen an evil thing in her life. I don't know. Just her, just the way she looks is the perfect person to cast for like this absolutely innocent person that's going out into this fucking world and like.
Yeah, captured like a genuine naivety.
Yeah, exactly, right? Untold horrors experienced for the first time. I think there was too many close-ups of her crying though. I don't know. Every time I would gain consciousness and lock in, I'm like, oh, Ella's not crying again. Okay,
right.
but
He has like
That's-
very like big eyes that kind of allow like almost
She
an
does.
exuberance like of the crying.
Right.
She does
Right.
have those
But-
big eyes.
like almost fucking alien-esque, but like, no, I think she was an outstanding choice. You know,
He
whoever
means
the
she's
talent-
out of this world.
That
Out of this world.
That real.
No, she
Yeah.
was great. I mean, you did bring up that she cries for quite a bit, but she also like. There's a lot of situations.
Yeah, she's
where
going
she just-
through tragedy
She
as like
just,
an innocent.
She
Yeah.
just soldiers through it like a little Cub Scout or something, you know, like
Yeah.
okie
yeah.
dokie.
But you know what? Like, if I were to expect, like, if I were to imagine like this person being put in those kinds of situations where they are like, you know, perhaps they're not exposed to it beforehand, but like, you know, a person going through it for the first time, that's how I'd expect someone to react, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, not over
Yeah.
the top either one way or the other. I think it's like
Mhm.
a gradual like slope, which is totally respectable for me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree. And then our other fella, our other character, who is our Brotherhood of Steel member, Aaron
Yeah.
Moten, as
Maximus.
Maximus. I
Yeah.
really liked him. I think he was. At first I was like, God, he's fucking being such a little baby all the time, like a little dork a lot of the time. But then he slowly just became like my most relatable character.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is each one of the three members of the cast are like these three. They're like three different play styles of the game. You know, you got your I'm gonna be a good guy. I'm a vault dweller. I'm gonna be trying to help people. That's like Ella Purnell's character. And then you have Maximus, who's like I played the game before. I'm gonna play a little bit more neutral. I'm gonna play a little bit more in between. Which is usually what I play, just because I like having more things. I just like I'll get into it in a bit here, but like how, I'll talk about more about that later on. But also you got the Ghoul, Cooper Howard's character, Walton Goggins. He's the one who's been the veteran gamer for a while. He knows all the ins and outs of the game, and now he's just doing a full-on evil run. Like,
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. I never thought of the show in that aspect.
Yeah.
I think that's
Oh.
actually a really good analogy.
But it totally works though, right? Like it's a way to kind of reach out to all the different play styles of the game. You got your
Yeah, we got lawful, we got neutral, and we got evil.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Covers the basics.
Absolutely. And you the way they're well written to the point to where all of these characters make a lot of sense. We also have what who's the what was the Norm? Norm was the other guy. Moses Arias. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Moses Arias. He was really cool. Like
Little nerdy guy.
little nerdy guy, a little
Yeah,
short
yeah.
fella there.
Yeah,
Her brother.
Yeah, her brother.
Yeah.
Lucy's brother, played by Ella Purnell. Yeah, Norm was really good too. I didn't really see him being that me liking his storyline as much as I did, but as the show went on, I started getting more and more engaged with his side of the story, which I absolutely love.
There's a couple things I couldn't get over. I couldn't tell if he was 16 or 35.
Yeah.
He also looks like the one dude in the. He looked like the fucking porn star, like like the one that's like really little, but like. Anyways,
What?
we're getting sidetracked a little
Is he
bit.
packing some meat though? Like...
He's packing dog. Dude. Like when he made his character creation screen, height fucking minimize that. Dong size, fucking maximize.
Maximize that out, dude.
I'm pretty sure his cousin's dong's as big as he is.
Hey, and kind of a background character. I mean, I wouldn't categorize it as a background. Kind of switching gears. Sorry to take it away from Norm, but do you guys remember Dane? It was Maximus's little friend.
His little friend.
The one that cut their foot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Oh
I can't.
yeah.
Yeah. So I can't get over the fact. So we're just gonna refer to them as they. Do they have a mustache or not? Because I swear I see like a little shade, but I don't see any hair. That's what like pissed me off through the whole time. Like every time I saw her, I'm like leaned in super close. I'm like, do I see a mustache?
Oh my god! All right, I'm having to look it up
It could
now.
be like a
Oh,
fuzz. I
it's
don't
just a
know.
little bit of that. Like
I don't know
I
if they just
just
took like
turned 16 and I'm starting to grow a little fuzz there.
no, but like I don't know if someone like took a little like number two HB pencil and like shaded it in or whatnot. Because I don't see hair. I just see like a little darkness right there. I don't know what's going on.
No, they definitely have a little mustache. I think that's a real
Okay.
mustache.
Okay.
I think it's a real mustache. Zelia Mendez Jones, I think, is the
Okay.
actor. Which I
Okay.
did. I mean, there's so many like little details in this show that they have like payoffs to that I wasn't expecting to actually fully pay off to, and that character specifically, I had something I want to bring up too.
Yeah.
But I really did like that. Also, Kyle MacLachlan as the overseer. A lot of people have been giving him a lot of love. I haven't really like. I'm
Mm.
not like. I've definitely seen him in things, but I
Yeah.
can't like put my finger down of like what am I really knowing him from. He is. I guess he's in. Yeah, I really can't say. I've been trying to look around and see things that he's been in that I would know, but they're never
For
like
me,
his character was never the one that I really remember from those.
yeah, for me it was like, he did a good job personally for like acting and like getting emotions across, but like
Oh yeah,
he just
this.
is like his character is just like default Caucasian one, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just
Well, like it's like it felt like a lot like in the beginning the first episode felt like it was like a rehash of Fallout 3
yeah.
where you got to go find your dad,
Yeah.
and I was really surprised by how far that really went with that storyline, how they really subverted a lot of our expectations. So, before we transition on, I do want to take one last shout out to Jonathan Nolan, who was the director of the show. He's a screenwriter. He worked on Westworld, which has been very critically acclaimed show. I really enjoyed a lot of what I did see. I haven't finished the show yet, but he's also been a writer on Interstellar, The Prestige, and The Dark Knight. All very strong portfolio there or resume there. But I think his biggest thing was Westworld, and now this, which I think he knocked out of the park. I know he had a lot of input from Todd the God Howard and the
Mhm.
Bethesda team, but they said that
Yeah.
like they wanted to work with them, but like they were like the writing team that he hired were, I guess, already really big Fallout fans, including himself. Uh,
Mhm.
so I guess you can really see the love in the show that they did put in.
I want you
Yeah.
to earmark the fact that Todd the God Howard talked to the director because I have some complaints that we'll address
Okay.
later.
Okay. Cool.
I'm like, oh my God,
Um,
girl, let me speak.
Let me speak. Let me
so
speak.
so real quick, so there IMDb says that there are actually two creators of the show,
Mhm,
being Geneva Robertson Dworet and Graham Wagner.
mhm.
So Jonathan Nolan, he directed 3 episodes. I'm not sure which episodes.
Yeah, he specifically directed
He
three.
directed 3 episodes. Claire Kilner directed 2. Frederick E.O. Toy
Mhm,
directed 2. Daniel Gray Longingo
mhm,
directed 1, and a guy named Wayne Shi Yip directed 1 episode as well.
mhm.
And there were also like 30 different producers, and one of them was Jonathan Nolan.
Yeah, Jonathan Nolan
Um,
is, I think, given a lot of the credit for a lot of the show running, because this is what they do in a lot of shows. Like, so in Game of Thrones, like it says DB Weiss and David Benioff directed all this, but like
yeah,
there were a lot of episodes they didn't direct. Just like in Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan didn't direct all of it, but he, like, even George R. R. Martin directed a few episodes of the show Game of Thrones early
yeah.
on. But yeah, Jonathan Nolan, I think was kind of. I mean, from my understanding, he was the one that was more leading the project. But you also
Yeah.
said you brought up two names that I'm not too familiar with. What did they were showrunners or
It says directors.
this is directors? Okay, so maybe they
These
have.
everyone I named were directors. So Jonathan Nolan directed 3 of the 8 episodes, is what I mean to say. And so I'm wondering if we should like start giving more credit to like general directors. Not to say that
Yeah,
Jonathan
no,
Nolan doesn't
absolutely,
deserve credit, but there were like, several other directors on this that
Yeah.
he gets all the credit for in regards to that
No,
by
I
default.
like that you want to shout them out, especially since they did put in a lot of work. He's just been the one that I'm the most familiar with because he's been, I think, the most vocal in
Oh
the
yeah.
most interviews that I've seen.
Oh yeah. No, that's the only name I recognize out of what I said.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, and
I don't
also
know.
he's done a lot of interviews with Todd Howard. Todd Howard brings him up, and I don't know what it is. Every time I see Todd Howard, I just want to pick him up and give him a little hug. You deserve it sometimes, but
Right.
sorry.
You deserve some of it, but not all of it.
But not all of it. He definitely strikes me as someone who is. Everyone calls him they call him a salesman and stuff like that. He's just trying to sell you shit. I really do think that he thinks that these things like he really enjoys what he does.
A lot of these things are similar, like what we see in problems of like presidencies and stuff. Even like don't get me wrong, Todd Howard has a lot to play, but really it doesn't really matter. There's like if you have like 1,000 people, being the face of it all doesn't really make that much of a difference, and we see that in presidents and things like that. When it's Congress that really runs it or corporations or whatever, they're just a face. Todd Howard's just a face
Well, especially
of Bethesda.
he's the face, but he's also having to answer to a lot of like the shareholders and stuff like that.
That's
especially
true.
now being owned by Microsoft, as being owned by Microsoft. Now he's having to.
I forgot about that.
He has a new master.
Yeah, Bill Gates, dude.
More directly Phil Spencer right now, but yeah, I guess Bill Gates could just come down and be like, more Fallout now.
Just
So she gets South Park Bill Gates.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just whacking people.
Swing that thing around.
But anyway, so I'm gonna do like a bit of an overview of the show real quick. This is where we're gonna start getting into our spoiler territory here, and then we can start. We just go Wild West on this and just kind of go spoilers. But so the basically it starts off with the opening. I think is one of my favorite parts of this series that just sets it off all so perfectly. Has a little bit of that whimsy. Has like that opening. The music introduces us to Cooper Howard at a birthday party, and then the nukes go off, and you see chaos. Everything just devolves into chaos. All to the backdrop of out of an orange-colored sky, and it is just the most fitting and well choreographed or well shot opening, I think, for a Fallout series that they could ask for.
Yeah.
And you start off with Ella Purnell's character Lucy, who's a vault dweller, an awkward person going through daily life, and of course we have our inciting incident being that they're attacked by raiders, posing as the other vault that's connected to their vault, and her father gets taken away, and she now has to go on an adventure to go find him in the wasteland of the apocalypse. Now, we have lots of little things like that sprinkled in, like the Enclave, the Brotherhood of Steel is obviously a big part of this. We have a little bit of the NCR and a little bit of their history. And a lot of it takes place in California, so the California Republic, and absence is kind of a big deal for the story. And she's going on this adventure. She meets up with someone from the Enclave who, as she's kind of going through, meets up with the Ghoul, meets up with Maximus. the Enclave fella dies, and she has to like. It's all about this quest for the Enclave member's head. They're having to get that dude's head, and that's such a Fallout thing to me. It's like it's a fetch quest for a severed head. You know?
It really is just a fetch quest.
Yeah.
When you put it like that, yeah.
And you get all these nice little Easter eggs and stuff that don't feel forced. They feel very natural and in place to the world. You're exploring a lot of the world. You're seeing the ins and outs, the real moral grayness of this world until it culminates in the final battle with the Brotherhood of Steel finding the head, or no, the NCR getting the head, the Brotherhood of Steel coming in. They're both fighting, and it's all this work for a cold fusion system, right?
Mm-hmm.
To provide infinite power to the wasteland. And
yeah,
of course, there's lots of twists and turns, so much so that it's hard to even kind of like get into. But Lucy's, uh, all the while we're getting backstory on what happened before the bombing and after, and we're seeing that Lucy's father was actually one of the founding members, or one of the early members of Vault Tech. And he's done some really shady things. A nice subversion from what we were expecting him to just be like a good guy, like our father was in Fallout 3.
yeah.
Absolute Chad in Fallout 3, by the way.
Absolute
Chad
Dad, Liam Neeson. But in this one, it's Hank, Overseer Hank McLean, actually kind of a piece of shit, working for Vault Tech, who now we have fully confirmed Vault Tech was one of the main people responsible for the bombs dropping. It was a long time theory that has now been mostly confirmed.
May I add something to this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk too, so please.
So, hats off to Todd Howard and the directors for pulling off that amazing like intro scene. I think the last scene where the Brotherhood's fighting the NCR in the ruins of Shady Grove. I mean, that is one of the best scenes that I've seen, like, hands down. Like, fucking seriously, hats off. But a couple things that don't stand right with me is like, so yeah, Vault Tech dropped the bombs, or we're pretty sure they dropped the bombs, and even damn it, the ghoul, what's his name?
Cooper Howard.
Cooper. Yeah. So Cooper even eavesdropped on his wife as they were in the meeting with West Tech, Robco, all that stuff when they said they were going to drop the bombs. However, why were they surprised when the bombs dropped? Anyways, we can gloss over that fact, right? We can gloss over the fact maybe they knew they were going to do it, maybe they didn't know when, etc., etc.
What I think is kind of interesting in these things, because because we get this in Fallout, there's this unreliable narrator that we get where like it's mostly people we're in America in the game usually, it's blamed on the Chinese, but there's some references that it might have actually been the US, and then in the show we're seeing that it's the corporations and not even necessarily the governments themselves. Which actually is kind of interesting because that's kind of not terribly unlike the systems that we have today, where the corporations are making these moves and the governments get all the blame. But not to say that it's not a little confusing and stuff as a fan, because I also had, seeing that, I was also kind of like, it threw a wrench in the whole thing. But I think it might actually, from what I just said, I think it might actually have the potential to add to it, especially if it's still not totally confirmed. Because all we saw was them planning to do it. And obviously we know bombs do get dropped, but we don't know for sure that they actually did it, just that they plan to do it.
For sure. And that's the second part of this, is like, maybe they were planning it, but it didn't naturally occur. But also, why was Vault-Tec planning it? Because they're still selling vaults. They're still selling spaces. Why does the actual apocalypse still need to happen? Why do they need to, like, make it happen? You know what I mean? They
I guess so.
during their last presentation, they were like, "We have over 100 vaults. We have all these things. We just need your investment. You can make these vaults do whatever you want. No one needs to know about it, right?" Like,
Yeah.
so
Well,
this
when we talk
investment is.
about being sorry,
Oh, I'm sorry.
go on.
So
No,
the
I
investments
interrupted
are
you. Sorry.
pretty much secure. Why do they need to make the bombs drop? Because they don't make money once the bombs drop. It's the like the scare, the like the
Yeah,
panic
the fear
beforehand.
is what's
Well,
selling this, not the
Exactly.
actual
So
event.
why are they even
well,
committing to dropping the bombs themselves?
I think because money is just another kind of power, and it's a power they won't even really need in the apocalypse outside of bottle caps, I guess.
Also,
They
oh, go ahead.
well what I was I lost my train of thought. Why don't you go ahead? I'll try to see if I can
So
jump back on it.
if we're gonna talk about the dark room scene where they have the meeting with all the top businessmen, there
Mhm.
was people that were above them that Vault Tech seemed to be answering to, and I think that was supposed to be the Enclave that was up in the up in the hidden
Yeah,
area.
that little
So
scene. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so like I
Mhm.
feel like Vault Tech was getting a limited information from the Enclave. They're told, hey, you say this, you get all the power, you get all the money, you can get more volts sold and shit like that. You threaten them and say that we're going to drop the bombs. But the Enclave is still the ones that are the deciding factor on whether bombs get dropped or not.
Boom.
These are just different business strategies kind of playing off of each other. Vault-Tech's like, yeah, we'll scare these other businesses into being a part of the future, getting their
Mm.
investment, while Vault-Tech seems to be the one in control, but they're not really in control. They're just like the middlemen for the Enclave. Is kind of
Wow.
what I'm kind of feeling from it.
That's a really, really good observation. That is a really good observation.
Another thing I would say is when we talk about like power and all this kind of stuff, especially when we talk about like who would want to bomb the world, who would want to be king of the ashes. But the idea is that not everyone will die. It's the idea of killing them. I mean, it's hard to rule 1 billion people, but it's not hard to it's easier to rule 100 million than 8 billion. And so you can literally just like bomb the shit out of the masses and just rule whoever's left. And they're all scattered, they're unorganized. You know what I mean?
And you take the ones that you want to keep, and you educate them, and
shove them in
way.
vaults.
Yeah, and you have them build the
Yeah.
world into your image that you want, into your utopia.
Yeah, we do see that in the show.
Very
Yeah.
power. But I do think it is a fair criticism, but also like I think it's just a great point of discussion.
Yeah. No, dude, you make a great point. Maybe it's a selling point, right?
Yeah, I think so. So
Especially when the female I forget her name. Cooper's wife.
Cooper's wife.
Oh,
Anyways,
what about her?
so she's obviously like, as far as I'm tracking, like she seems very passionate about her kids and like having the future. She's talking to Cooper about like we should really do this vault, do this stuff, etc., etc. Like she believes in what she does. She truly believes in the vaults because it's the principle of like her bloodline carrying on, like her kids with Cooper, right?
Yeah.
So when the bombs drop and she's surprised when she's holding that from Cooper that they were planning on dropping the bombs, or maybe like you mentioned, Matt, that maybe just a selling point. When she's surprised, maybe it did occur all naturally, and then like you said, it kind of further affirms the fact that they were just using it as a selling point versus like actually being something that they planned on doing right away.
Right, and that way it's still like a surprise because I mean it is kind of interesting how the bombs drop while Cooper's out with his daughter, with his and his wife's daughter, ex-wife's daughter.
Yeah.
If she were really the one pressing the button, would she really be the one dropping the bombs while her daughter's out
Yeah.
or not in the vault?
No, not at all.
So
Yeah.
it makes you wonder how much Vault Tech really had power over, but
And that's why I kind of agree on your friend's point where, Vault-Tec's kind of the middleman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just some theorizing on my part.
Yeah, same.
Theoreticals.
I think that's why one of the things though is just great about this show. I love how we just have so many different conversations about it. Especially one point of controversy about the NCR's fall. A lot of people had a lot of opinions about that.
As did I.
Yeah, like a lot of people, they had this timeline mapped out of like when the bombs fell or when the NCR collapsed, and I think they've pretty much kind of like fully explained like, hey, no, this is not when they collapsed. This is when like the starting of the fall of Shady Sands was starting, and it was before the events of New Vegas, and it explains maybe why the NCR were so invested in New Vegas. Maybe like that's like a way of kind of like recouping power, turning around their image. Maybe
Of course, the Hoover Dam as well.
Hoover Dam being a big play.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, it's something that was said in New Vegas is like the NCR had spread themselves really thin.
Super thin. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
But the thing that I can't I'm not a huge fan of, but like I understand why the creative team decided to go this way. Is like they kind of like killed the NCR off screen. You know what I mean? Like it was
yeah,
just like, oh, this has already happened. Guess what? This is the world we live in.
yeah,
But for me as a Fallout fan, I'm like, come on, really? Like
yeah. One of
that's
the
that's
biggest
who everyone
powerhouses.
sides with at the beginning.
Mhm.
This is their first time playing, and
Right.
Yeah.
everyone sides with the NCR, and like they're the voice of reason. They've got corruption, they've got their problems, but hey, guess what? No
Mhm.
one's
Right.
fucking
They got
perfect.
supplies. They got some kind of protection for people
Yeah,
around them.
and I
Mhm.
think the idea of the NCR is really good, but obviously there's flaws within that system.
Yeah.
But I
Mhm.
just hate that they like. I mean, I think they addressed it pretty well, like, how it all happened. And like, to be honest, if we do play New Vegas ourselves, we can destroy the NCR just as a courier, right? So it
Mhm.
makes sense that like one guy, aka Hank, can fucking destroy the NCR. But I just hate that they just killed him behind the scenes. Like, it just kind
Yeah.
of bums me out. It's not like a deal breaker where I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, horrible. But I'm just like,
Yeah.
can we have a little bit more lore, please? Instead of just like
Right.
Hank burning down
Lisa.
everything, like burning down Shady Sands. Like when
Yeah.
they said burning down Shady Sands, I was like, did he just throw a Molotov cocktail and there's like a
Yeah.
flaming
Right.
fire? Like, did they just not have any water? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
But no, it was
Fair
a fucking
enough.
like he set off a fucking nuke or some shit. Like there's a
Mhm.
huge crater, obviously. So,
Mhm.
anyways, I wish they
Yeah.
like spent a little like had more time on the NCR fall, and also
Yeah.
they're so widespread that
They're.
it shocks me that they don't have any people like covering down for like
Mhm.
these people that just got blown up. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I think that could be something that comes in later. It's like
Perhaps.
the NCR could kind
Yeah.
of like it's more in fractals. It's not. It's not
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole that it was before. It's
They're
not as
like
powerful.
chapters of the NCR, right?
Yeah. Kind of
Yeah.
like how like the Brotherhood of Steel like has different chapters. I
Yeah.
imagine that
Exactly.
the same kind of fragmentation is probably happening to the
Mhm.
NCR as
Yeah.
well.
And speaking of, may I direct this to the Brotherhood of Steel?
Mhm.
Oh
Absolutely.
my god. Let me tell you, right? So the Brotherhood of Steel has been like tugging on my heartstrings, man. Like
Mhm.
I love him one game and I fucking hate him the next.
Mhm.
So we know they changed based off of the chapters, which,
Yeah.
oh, how convenient, right? But fucking 3, they're completely different. New Vegas, they're fucking completely different. 4, they're kind of in the gray.
Yeah,
But
they're kind of very similar, I think, in a lot
yeah,
of ways
same,
too.
same but different. Same but different.
They're just a more powerful version of the ones in New Vegas, I think.
Yeah. So in 4, they're like genocidal, like they
Yeah.
hate all sins, like I
Mhm.
mean, you can't say anything to change their mind.
Mhm.
Versus like
Heavy
New
dogma.
Vegas and 3, they're slightly different. Like I think 3, they kind of somewhat had a noble cause where they were
Mhm.
like, and then New Vegas, they had a completely different cause. It's
Well, New Vegas, I think they were pretty rigid in New Vegas. It's just that Veronica, right?
mhm.
I think
Yeah, Veronica.
she was the most one that you could kind of influence. She was like a regular person who wasn't fully sold on the dogma of the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
So she kind of gave us like an insight into like the grays of that area.
Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, the New Vegas chapter of the Brotherhood, they were pretty fucking. They just were pretty like desperate and weak at that point. So they didn't really.
Yeah.
Including in leadership.
Yeah.
And we talk about like Elijah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
leaving then going the big empty and starting fucking Dead Money pretty much
Yeah.
at the Sierra Madre.
They couldn't
All
be.
that kind of fractures off of the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah. They were reduced to like a bunker. Like their whole operation was just this fucking bunker.
I bet
Yeah,
it's
that dies with the press of a button.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, oh, destroy the Brotherhood of Steel. Beep. You know what I mean? Like
We gotta stop installing these self-destruct buttons.
Right.
But
It's kind of like the exhaust port in the Death Star,
I definitely feel like this is more of a progression, especially from like maybe 4 to, because I think a lot of these guys, they came from like the East Coast, right? This Brotherhood chapter came from the East Coast down
I
there.
believe so. Most of them must have come from the East, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that kind of explains a lot of their real dogmatic, kind of racist, kind of like fucked up kind of ways, like they're
I
just
mean,
kind of evil totalitarian guys.
I got a question about this, man.
Mhm.
So it's I guess there's like some sort of establishment that like the Brotherhood of Steel is the remnants of the US military, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? So in the
Are they?
Fallout show, that's what I'm tracking.
Well,
That's
because
what I'm
okay, what I thought. Okay, Enclave and Brotherhood and Steel, do they both pair off of the U.S. government, or
Well,
Enclave is
like
like
one's
more like
the like
elite.
different branches?
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Enclave is more elite, like civilian kind of elected
like
positions
the
esque
CIA
type.
and shit
Yeah.
too.
Versus I think that the Enclave is more like generals and their soldiers and their lieutenants.
Or the Brotherhood.
Yeah, excuse me, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah, the Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood is more like their generals and their lieutenants and their
Okay, so
soldiers.
it's like basically like like the legislative and the judicial, and then the Brotherhood of Steel is
I would say
the
the
executive.
Brotherhood is the executive. And
Yeah.
if I were to like branch it off like that, the Enclave would be more like the legislative or something like that.
Okay.
Right.
But they totally branched off into their own factions, and obviously they both now
I
have
think so. I
militaries.
think so. But I lost
It's
my
like
train
two.
of
So it's like
thought.
two different factions of the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
But I remember what I was getting at. So the Brotherhood of Steel coming from like the goddamn military, like the executive branch, right? So I just don't see like how they would come to this point into the Fallout show where they're like somewhat kind of incompetent. I know we have like you know what I mean? Like I know we have and they're super religious. Like I know we have our chaplains corps. I love our chaplains. Like they're fucking great. Don't get me wrong. But they're in the show they're super religious. They're super like and I guess that kind of explains why they are so radicalized. Like they don't really question orders. They're like very strict. I mean, don't get me wrong, the military is strict, let me tell you. But it to be that level of mindless, like following orders, like I don't know.
I think that's a lot of interpretation of a lot of like more artistic folk who, like a lot of writers and stuff, generally see the military are just people who are just mindless and they can't think for themselves kind of people.
Yeah.
Is that what I've kind of seen?
Yeah.
Well,
It's
it
easy to
almost
write
seems
that
like a
way.
requirement of a ranking system is to be mindless around your,
Well,
your commanding officer.
you'd
You
think
gotta
that
drink
from
a little Kool-Aid.
yeah, drink a little bit of the Kool-Aid, but you'd think that like from the outside looking in, but you're expected to take the next rank, so they don't want some like moron who can't make decisions for themselves in the position of authority, you know. So they want to like groom you to be intelligent, and they want you to be able to think for
Well,
yourself.
some of you, some
Well,
of them,
some
they,
well,
what I mean.
if you're not gonna be that person who's willing to step up and be like take on leader position, they don't really want you either. But I guess we're also Suzanne, we're also like kind of in a job that like they do value that more. I don't know, maybe if we were infantry or something that
Yeah.
maybe
I
that
get
is the way it is. 'Cause I've known some morons in the military too.
I get you, man. Yeah, absolutely. And that was like a thought in my head too. Is like our job might be different than most of the jobs.
Yeah. So
Especially
maybe
some of the more,
maybe it's somewhat justified.
demanding ones.
Maybe it is somewhat justified, but at the same time, from my experience, it is generally like this does seem a lot more hyperbolic of like an impression of what the military is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But
You don't think it came from anyone like the people that made it? You don't think that came from any military experience, but from like you're saying, more like a Hollywood artistic
yeah,
idea of what the
and
military is.
and the
I mean,
reason, yeah,
yeah.
the
As far as like
go ahead.
reading, I have experience. It's like I don't want to speak for him, but I mean, there's definitely like parts of it where there's hazing and stuff like that, and whatever the fuck Sergeant Major of the Army will tell you, there is hazing, there is fucking weird stuff going on, but
Yeah,
not to the level of
yeah,
fucking Brotherhood of Steel as depicted by the Fallout show, where it's like you don't just fucking just pick the newest guy and just beat the shit out of him. You know what I mean?
yeah,
As
yeah.
much as I would like to do that to some people, you know, we don't do
Well,
that. We don't do that.
I
That would
wonder
not
if
fly.
it's more old school. I mean, I would
Yeah,
imagine more old school military was probably
perhaps so.
like that.
Perhaps so.
Yeah,
Maybe
taking
there's a boomer in there.
Like
yeah,
nowadays, maybe not 21st century, but I mean, I can imagine either
Yeah.
old school or basically kind of resetting old school in a nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would
yeah.
revert to maybe more brutal. This pecking order, brutalistic, just passing the buck, or in this case, the punch, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot less focus on how deep the camaraderie goes, but also the reason why I think that this is definitely more of like a artistic standpoint, people who may not have as much firsthand experience, is like it does have like the author, the writer does show his hand a lot with how they want to write things, and this is something that comes up a lot in our modern writing is in stories, which I don't always have a problem with, but they always focus very heavily on like shallow interpretations of capitalism and the military-industrial complex, and because they're easy to talk about, or colonialism and stuff like that. They're easy to talk about. They're easy to write about, and some of them have really good things to say about it. So I think that it's not all bad. I'm not trying to lump that in, but it is something that you see a lot in like I'd say quote unquote millennial writing, where it's like we gotta up the diversity and not have a reason for it. We gotta. It's what people usually label as like woke when it's bad, but also very subversive and brilliant when it's good. But you see
Right.
that kind of style come in a lot.
You think you see a lot of that in the show?
I see it, but this was handled really well. I think. I think for the most part it was
Because
handled
I
really
didn't pick
well.
up on that in the show, like
Well,
racial shoehorning, really.
no, because Fallout definitely it's meant to be that way. You know, if this was like a medieval fantasy show, then obviously you'd see a lot more people complaining about it.
Well,
I
because
wouldn't
it's
complain about it 'cause I don't
medieval
care.
fantasy is like predominantly European
Mhm.
based.
Yeah, this setting definitely suits it more. I see definitely more of like the talks about capitalism and stuff like that, the problems with America, which is like it comes up a lot in millennial writing. But when it's done well, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's really good.
Well, and it being America, the racial melting pot,
yeah,
it doesn't seem that way,
And I think this show handles a lot of this well. Of course, though, I do agree with Suzanne of like, yeah, the way they portray the military, and maybe it is because of the way that society has evolved, and the Brotherhood of Steel is very kind of almost it is very religious and zealous, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
there's
maybe
a
why
kind of
that
a
makes more
slight
sense for it.
occultish vibe.
Yeah, maybe you wouldn't see that in the same because you don't see that kind of same behavior in like the NCR.
Yeah.
Even in
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, you see, I see when I play New Vegas and I see the NCR, I see basically me. It's just me complaining about the weather.
Exactly. Patrolling the Mojave makes you want to wish for a nuclear winter.
Which I find that accurate. I do want to see more of the NCR in the future, but before we get too far into that, I do want to talk about what is our. We've talked somewhat about our critiques and stuff about this show. You guys have any more you want to bring up before we move on?
Oh, critiques? Yeah, I got a few.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I got some things to bring up as well.
I was kind of confused. Now, this is just me complaining. This one's just a complaint, but I was confused when we first kind of see the ghoul. It's actually before we see him. When we just see what is it Radaway or what are the vials? And I don't even know what was in the bag. He had the two bags where there was that a glowing blood bag. I don't know what it was.
It looked like
Are you talking about the ghouls?
The ghoul before they dig him up. There is two bags streamlined straight into the ground, keeping him alive somehow, or keeping him from going feral, I presume.
That IV drip was real fucking slow, dude.
Right. I mean, I had a lot of confusion with that whole little thing. I didn't even as a Fallout player, I had a hard time understanding what it was.
Wait, do you remember that ghoul that was buried alive and he was still alive?
Oh, which one?
Are you talking in the show, or are you talking about?
No. It was like in the actual Fallout game. They can go
Which
without
game?
food and water, but my question was like, what are the vials that they're like fiending over, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think then I think about like, how do ghouls like regain health? It's with radiation. What if it's just pure fucking polonium, dude? Like they're just
pumping on polonium,
straight fucking plutonium, dog. You're like, got that
boofing it.
So I had a bit of a theory too about that. Was that we've seen the guy who comes through and he's like a snake oil salesman. What if that is just like those vials are just like another version of snake oil? I mean, maybe this is something that ghouls were supposed to be doing in game the whole time, and we never noticed. They never fleshed it out in game in the lore.
Yeah.
But I also kind of wonder.
The vials was a new thing, yeah.
Yeah, that is a new thing. But like, what if that is just like some kind of snake oil thing that's just only happened on the West Coast, and that no one really, it just got real widespread now. It staves off there.
Circle back onto like the buried ghoul thing. So in Fallout 2, there was this so you can find this. Did you ever play Fallout 2?
No.
Okay. So there's this NPC that you can find. His name is Cotton Willie, and he is found buried alive in Fallout 2. And then is that Echo?
Yeah, it's Echo over here.
So he got ghoulified by radiation. He took refuge in Necropolis, and then he was buried alive basically, and then he was dug out like fucking years later, and he was still alive. So I think
Was he feral when he came out?
No, he was sane.
Yeah.
So my question
No,
is like,
Bethesda might ignore that because they technically didn't have their hands in that.
they didn't own the game when Fallout 2 was out.
Yeah. Is 1
but-
and 2 considered canon?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not.
It has to be.
Because
They have to, because
No,
they
there's-
still have the
I know
master
that there's at least one that is for sure not canon. I don't think it's either one of those. There's like another one I can't remember. I
yeah,
never
1
played
and
them.
2 were made by different like studios.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still think it's canon. We still talk
Mhm.
about the master.
I'll
But
try and answer my own.
I will pull out the fact that there was in Fallout 2 that ghoul that was buried alive. But again, it may not be canon, so who knows?
I think they do still incorporate New Vegas 1 and 2 into the canon.
Well, they'll have aspects of it, but I don't know if all of it is considered full canon.
They do retcons. They do retcons.
Do you guys know who Chris Avalon is?
Yeah, that sounds
don't
very
know.
familiar.
I'm just reading Reddit posts now. It's not going to be anything good. I don't know. But, well, why don't we just keep moving on? You guys want to just hear me keep complaining, or?
Well, we're here in the complaint section.
Oh gosh. Okay. Because I got a few of them. It's mostly just me complaining, really. Now that I'm looking at it. Dude, when Maximus is getting interrogated and there's just that Brotherhood of Steel, just like Paladin, just like walking back and forth past him, I just kept thinking in my head that, they used like 3 fusion cores just interrogating. I don't know why. That's just really for me to complain about fusion cores in Fallout 4. Because seriously,
they burn out fast.
Why do they last like half a second, but they could power like a vault forever?
Yeah,
it's so stupid. I wish they lasted a little longer because I have 10 and it feels like I have 0. I also was very confused by the Gulper dying. So when his paladin shot him, was that with like a poison or something, or?
I think so.
Because he was just getting, or was it?
Ripped him out.
Did they just rip him out when the hands were grabbing him with the tongue, finger tongue, whatever?
Tongues. Yeah.
Yeah, on that axolotl.
That's what I'm guessing happened. Is that it just fucked up its digestive system.
Okay. I was just confused about that. That's probably. I think that was okay. I didn't know if that was me or the way they did that.
I'm not gonna lie. I would have had more of a problem with that if I also didn't just love how they both kind of cheered, like, "Oh my god, that worked!"
Right? I
excited.
thought he got like poison. Like when he shot him like once with that gun. I'm like, was he poisoned and he just threw up, like and died? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. That is what it is. Also, that pregnant chick just like blasting that like her fucking when her water broke when they were trying to fuck. Like I don't know. It felt so out of place. It felt I think it's supposed to be funny, but it was just gross.
The miracle of life.
I don't know.
You out, Jonathan?
No, but it was just like I said. I think it was supposed to be funny, and it just I don't know. It didn't hit. It didn't hit for me. It really didn't. Just like okay, she didn't even look that pregnant to me. Not like water breaking pregnancy, like this chick's bursting right now. Like that was wild.
She's ready to pop, dude.
She didn't seem like it. I don't know. Why don't you guys pass it around?
Well, you got anything else, Suzant?
I got others, but
yeah, no, carry on.
No. Please, if you got some, let's spread me out a little.
I mean,
I'm not that negative a person. I actually liked the show, so Jonathan, go ahead. Tell us more about.
Oh yeah. Like I hated this show. You're skip over the favorite parts. That's sus as fuck. All right, so I was a little confused at first. Again, this is just me being confused, so I think I just might be an idiot. I might just be being fucking stupid. But when that Mark IV freaking robot that was gonna take her organs, harvest Lucy's organs.
Oh, Mr. Handy over there.
Oh,
when
yeah.
she stopped him with, I didn't realize it until I had to rewind and rewatch it. It was the defibrillator. The first time I saw it, I thought she just like stuck something between the blade, and it like fried the Mr. Handy, and I was like, what the fuck? But the defib makes way more sense. But I don't know. It just I had a hard time picking up on that. Then again, I'm not medically inclined. I assume you gentlemen are.
You know a few things. Suzanne
I
probably
also
knows more than
didn't
me,
like
though.
that. Right. There. The Maximus surviving as a kid from the nuclear blast at Shady Sands by hiding in the refrigerator he's Indiana Jones.
Yeah, milk bottles.
Dude, I hated it.
Yeah.
That actually probably might have been my one of my least favorite thing is like how much plot armor I feel like Maximus has.
Well,
I feel like he has more plot armor than
No.
Lucy, and that's saying
something.
something.
On that too.
Talking about plot armor, man. Fucking Cooper. He, especially in the last episode where he has like 2 Brotherhood of Steel knights staring at him. They just mowed down like 700 NCR Rangers, and he's
And
just like,
why he didn't kill him.
he's like, woohoo, and then like everyone just looks at him, doesn't shoot at him, as if they were in an intense gun battle.
Right, that's
before
true.
that.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'm like, you wouldn't just fucking blast the fuck out of him. Like, maybe he would have like danced. He would have just like danced out of it, whatever.
Yeah, even if you're scanning your environment, you just see he's cool and be like, oh yeah, turn him into mulch.
No, yeah. Like they're just like, let's let him do his villain monologue. Okay.
That is fair.
I
mean, I think him killing them wasn't that plot armor because they kind of, because they do explain that he basically literally knew this thing like 200 years ago. Like, that is the thing that I think is underplayed in Fallout games is how intelligent the non-feral ghouls should be.
Yeah,
for sure. Living that
with
long
how much
alone.
knowledge they know, but the fact
even
that he wasn't
for a
turned
couple decades,
into
they should know shit.
the fact that he wasn't turned into mulch the fucking quarter second that he was discovered.
that is
sense.
100% fair.
Yeah,
but also after he killed them, why didn't he kill Maximus with them? When he was acting as Brotherhood of Steel, no armor, in that same group, he just walks out.
Right, yeah.
While the zombies just slaughtering the paladins, and that's what I hung on to more than the whistle thing or the hey there, whatever. But that you're completely right on that regard.
Yeah.
That whole scene was nothing but what the fuck.
Weird, yeah. That was just weird.
I had a hard time with it.
The chick, she's like the main like NCR chick. I don't know her name. She kind of reminds me of Kamala Harris.
Moldova or whatever.
Yeah. Moldova chick.
Moldaver, thank you.
Yeah. So when Doodlebean gets knocked out, Maximus gets knocked out, and he comes to and he sees fucking Kamala Harris walking by, like hits the little power button, like lights up the whole city. He's like, anyways, I know why Maximus didn't kill Kamala Harris, but then like, why did Kamala Harris not kill Maximus? Is my question. I'm like, you don't know this guy. You have no idea who the fuck this guy is. If you like sense that he was right there, why wouldn't you just be like, you know what I mean?
Fight to your last. I don't know.
Anyway.
Maybe it was kind of like a what's the point? The
I guess so. I mean, like she was like mortally wounded. So I mean,
yeah. Well, she already succeeded. Her whole goal was just to bring power back,
for like 30 seconds till the Brotherhood of Steel like walked in and like
but that's just it. She won't be able to do it again. She died trying, and she technically succeeded momentarily. It is sad. It's bittersweet, and it is does feel a little lackluster and maybe even pointless. Yeah. But as far as like one's lifetime dedication goes, I mean that's like one of those things. I did it and then I died, and what's left is everyone else's problem. That's the living's problem.
Yeah. It's the difference between her and Tom Hanks at the end of Saving Private Ryan. He just kept shooting at the tank, dude. He was dying. He's like, he's still going for it.
Right. Yeah. Going back to me complaining about stupid shit about me not understanding things.
No, I will admit, like that is like full on, like almost like an anime moment where it goes, haha, yoo-hoo. You know,
Right.
you guys didn't know, but I know that there is a weakness in your armor. And he pushes up his glasses. Right here. And then the Brotherhood of Steel paladin is just, what?
Nani?
Nani? No, I will agree with that, and I agree with. I mean, if it were me and our Moldaver, I probably would have just blasted like everyone who came through the door. Like, even if I was gonna die, I'd just be like, "I'm taking out all these fucking Brotherhood of Steel bitches with me, dude."
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
around.
yeah. No, that was pretty much all my. Are we recording right now?
We are recording.
Oh shit. Well, yeah. That was pretty much all my complaints. Pretty much Maximus found the one thing stronger than power armor, and that is plot armor.
Real.
Well, I don't have as much of a problem with plot armor as long as there still are stakes, you know.
Right.
And I think the stakes.
I just he should have died on multiple occasions for sure.
Yeah, like
starting with Shady Sands or whatever.
Shady Sands, or you just locked into that power armor and Lucy just happened to find him. Like,
yeah, and then yeah, what we were talking earlier, the whole thing. But actually, that was all my complaints. So
I think the show did a good job of like addressing, like, you know, as far as this has not been a thing in the regular Fallout games. It's like they have to like do the little like, you know, mines of fucking plutonium or whatever to like stay alive. I think, you know, the difference between feral ghouls and just ghouls, I think that was a really cool like bridge, like go between the game and the show. I think that's a really cool thing. I think, you know, we maybe perhaps see that in Fallout, the next Fallout game.
Yeah, it was a cool addition to the lore because we never played as a ghoul before.
Exactly. So we don't know. Like we can't plausibly deny the fact that there was like things that ghouls that have lived for 500, 600, 700 years don't have to do that because we don't know because we never played them.
Yeah.
I think that was a really good addition to that to differentiate feral versus just regular ghouls.
I think, and as we get into this right now, we should talk about all like our favorite moments. I've got a lot
let's
of
go
those.
through that.
Oh man, I got you.
Because oh my god, the needle drops throughout this fucking show, dude, were fucking amazing. Like like I'm so glad that they're able to bring in that style. They never put in, I don't think, a single modern song. All of them were all
It was
iconic.
just the ink spots, baby.
The ink spots were
right.
jamming in there
Every time.
Got to surprise my parents with like the fact that I knew songs that were older than they were, and I was like, "What? You know this?" Yeah, video games taught me. But they were always really well timed, really well done. I loved every needle drop in this.
I love it, dude.
Yeah, they did really well to just capture Fallout as a whole. As far as any kind of game to TV adaptation I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it was never like I've seen a lot of that snarky kind of thing where they do winking at the camera like, "Oh, this is a show, right?" You know, like kind of humor. No, they take everything seriously in the show, in the world, and they still brought the humor of the series with it. Like the guy who's like the snake oil salesman who fucks chickens. You know, that shit's funny, dude.
Yeah.
When Lucy and Maximus kiss and the fucking severed heads kiss too.
Oh my god, that was my favorite moment.
You know, they did do well to incorporate humor at the right times.
For sure.
And I mean, everything from like you're talking the music, you know, the food, the weapons, the creatures. Dude, they had actual speech checks pretty much.
Yeah,
you know, dude totally failed a speech check or a party check, I should say. Like, you know, I mean, they had bloody mess levels of gore. You know,
the gore, the mayhem in there. It never felt gratuitous. It felt like it was within the right tone, and it still managed to be funny in moments. It balanced out the humor and the dark parts of Fallout, which I feel is like a really big task to do. Like, to balance the tones that Fallout handles in the game so expertly, because you're in a game, it's like that writing has to be a high quality writing. They're able to bring it to the show, and they did it, I think, masterfully.
Yeah.
I loved every little joke they had in there. It was never like
Right.
a snarky like, oh, this is really silly, right? Kind of moment. It was like, no, it was played up seriously and taken seriously as a world, and it showed
Yeah.
a lot of love. All the inspirations of like old, what would you say? It's like retro futurism was played up
Yeah.
and used effectively. Showed a love for the show,
Absolutely.
for the series.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
I even
Even
loved,
just like the details. Oh, sorry. Go on. Sorry. No, I keep interrupting. Sorry, guys.
I loved the part where he's like, oh, I'm a vault. You're a vault dweller. I thought all you dipshits were dead.
Right.
That's just
And there's all
me.
these rumors, like Max was talking about. They thought the vaults were full of monsters.
Yeah, very
Like there's all these like. We talk about the unreliable narrator, but there's all
Yes.
these rumors that just float around about the vaults that never open,
Yeah, people
Who knows
dog
what's in them?
people dog on a lot of Bethesda games or whatever, but the writing has always been they like playing with an unreliable narrator in their writing. And yes, that is something.
Hard.
It's a trait that was from Fallout from the beginning and from Elder Scrolls from the beginning. But like the fact that they're able to kind of still use that, like you said, with he thought they were full of monsters and stuff like that. He probably has seen a vault, and it probably was full of monsters. In the games we encounter vaults. There was one vault that was just full of psychopathic clones named Gary.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Well,
Gary
he
the
might.
Clown.
I guess you need a Pip Boy to get into the vaults, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, true. I didn't. Yeah, true. Okay, fair enough. Some
I don't know.
imagine were open, but and rated. Like obviously the Fiends
Right.
didn't need a Pip Boy to get into whatever what was that vault that they
Well,
were in?
actually,
And as
no
well
one
as
did. That one dude's dead mom's Pip Boy let them in, or not let them in, let someone in
Oh.
beforehand because they were already dead when the Raiders showed up.
I also want to point out in New Vegas there was that one vault by New Vegas that was infiltrated by raiders. They like
The
basically
Fiends.
convinced them to let him in. Yeah, the Fiends
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
motor. I can't remember
Runner.
his name.
The motor
Yeah,
runner. Yep.
something
Motor
like
Thank
that.
you for knowing that. Yeah. So there is ways they can get it in the vault without.
Plus, this being an area that
true.
was affected by the Master a lot, there was probably a lot of vaults that were ripped open by super mutants, and probably full of
Right.
monsters.
Yeah, no, fair. No, definitely.
I mean, if there's like
And
a
they are-
really dedicated dude named Cletus with a blowtorch, I think eventually he would get in.
Cletus would get in eventually.
Cletus will eventually get in after about 40 years.
Cletus also being a ghoul, also a redneck ghoul.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. I mean, I don't care if you make your fucking door out of diamond. It's like eventually, fucking someone is gonna get
Determination
through.
and time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I loved
Do that.
how they used a lot of the moral conundrums that come up, and I love how Lucy's character managed to stick with it all the way through. She
I
still
loved
stayed a good
her.
person,
Yeah,
but she did change. She was
did.
changed
I
by her
loved her
situation.
because she was like that character arc was there, but she was still her. But you can tell how she changed.
Yeah. Like,
It was. I loved Lucy's character.
yeah,
I really did.
Right.
Her growth throughout the season was
Mhm.
great
Yeah.
and believable.
I think the cherry on the top was when she took the Enclave member's head and like put him on the fucking food.
Dude,
Like I thought about putting a
Right.
grenade in here. I thought about doing all this and that, but I'm just gonna give it to you.
Right.
Boom! Puts it on her mac and cheese.
Right.
I love that scene, dude.
One of my
Right.
favorite
That was the
scenes,
ultimate fuck you.
Yeah.
when I really truly was invested, like I really realized this show, because I had a lot of fears going into the show, about how video game series adaptations have just been kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But when she had the Ripper out and the guy was telling her, you have to cut off my head and take this to this place, and she just goes, okie dokie, and I laugh my ass off, and she chops his head off. I was in, dude. I was locked in, and I was like, this is going to be good. This is going to be a good show.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, the first episode was a little hard to get through, man. It was kind of cringe.
Yeah, a little bit. It was still like you're still at that part where you're like, I don't know
unsure.
where this is going.
Very unsure. Yeah.
This could still go into this could still become shit. But
yeah, I like that it wasn't just in the world of Fallout. Like it really felt like a playthrough you would have done. You know.
Yeah. And speaking of why Maximus was probably like one of my favorites is because when he gets the opportunity to get some sweet power armor, and this guy who's been a douche to you the whole time, because we all have that game where there's a character in the game that's just being a douchebag to you.
Fucking Thaddeus.
Yeah, Thaddeus, and you're just like Michael Rappaport's character, and you're just like, and he finally is just dying there, and he's just like, I like that armor. I did betray in Fallout 4. I betrayed the Brotherhood of Steel just because I wanted Elder Maston's cool battle code. So I relate to that.
Start a whole war over a coat.
Yeah, he's like, he just kept looking at me and he go, "Hey, my eyes are up here," and I kept looking at his coat and I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
My bad.
Oops, sorry. It was a really cool looking coat, but. Yeah, I've been there, and the way that he's able to kind of like, I'm not veteran status where I like playing evil characters, so I'm still, the evilest I'll go is Maximus in my gameplay.
Yeah.
So, I really related to Maximus's character, except for that, the one thing that I thought was weird is how he just didn't know what sex was or how sex worked. I was like, how do you guys not know?
Right. Yeah, what was that?
How repressed are you guys?
Do you want to make my dick explode or
you want to explode like a pimple?
Yeah. That was a little weird. I thought it was.
Well, I mean, he's an orphan, and I doubt the Brotherhood has still taught him that much. You know,
talking about the birds and the bees.
Yeah, they didn't have a good sex ed program. I mean,
they did not. That's over at NCR.
we don't have great sex ed programs now, so I guess that kind of tracks.
Right. Right. I like when Lucy. Sorry, yeah, when Lucy first steps out, and you see like all the clay people and all that stuff. I really like just like little things like that because it reminds me when you first step out of like Fallout 3 out of the Vault 101. And there's like all those picket signs and skeletons of people outside that just say like "Let us in" and shit like that. You know,
always this unique feeling every time you first step out of your vault or you first start the game. Like when you step out of Doc Mitchell's house and you just see the wasteland. There's that feeling you get of like, whoa, this is this whole area I'm gonna explore. It's big and it's terrible.
It's so wide and vast. Yeah,
and they really
unknown.
They really captured that feeling, I thought, early on, and I thought that was great.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that they chose. Sorry, go on.
One of my favorite
it's gonna be like this all night.
One of my favorite parts was seeing. I love how they had Matt Berry in there because I'm a big Matt Berry fan, dude. That guy's comedic delivery is just great. So when he's gonna be doing the voice of Mr. Handy throughout the show. Oh my god, I just love that. And she's like, oh, I thought you were gonna make me into a sex slave or something like that. And he goes, oh no, that's disgusting. I'm just here to harvest your organs. I was like, yes, we're gonna get Matt Berry throughout the show, dude. I loved it.
And they even kind of do that call out in the, with his voice being,
Mm-hmm. Yes,
in the past, in that flashback.
He sold his voice to
to the people
to Robco?
Handyman.
Yeah. It was brilliant. Yeah. It was brilliant. Suzant,
I made 100K.
Suzant, you got another favorite you want to mention?
No, man, I think you guys really did cover down on all the favorite parts.
I got a few.
I already touched on like the fantastic scene at the end. We know Brotherhood of Steel against the NCR, whatever's left of them. Mm-hmm. I love that so much. But,
right. Most of my stuff is just a lot of little things, except for like maybe one. Mm-hmm. So like, I thought the axolotl was like a really good and unique choice for like, you know, radioactive monsters or just monsters in general that we see in whatever. It's always based on some kind of animal we know. And I feel like axolotls are really underrated.
Yeah, that's they brought in like it's the gulper, but a different type of gulper from Far Harbor. Yeah, I thought it was pretty neat how they incorporated that in. Even the reasoning for why a gulper would be in this area was really cool.
Right. Well, they can like axolotls can like regrow their limbs and shit. So like it would be like a wonderful creature to survive in the wasteland. Mm-hmm. You know. Mm-hmm. Small thing, but I thought that was just a good choice. Mm-hmm. When the bridge scene where they have to cross that bridge with those two people that eventually turned out to be fiends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a cool scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was. Mm-hmm.
I just liked how understandably tense it was. You know, like just the whole thing, and just when you think there's like just like an ounce left of humanity, you know,
the Pip Boy,
and they get greedy or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Cricket from Fallout 4 was just I want that Pip Boy. One of my favorite scenes too was we talked about it a bit, was the boardroom scene in the dark room with all of them, and they had Sinclair and they had Mr. fucking House, dude. Alright, who else was fucking hyped?
Mr. House was the big one. Mr. House was the big one for me on that, in that room.
I was like, oh my god, fangirling for fucking Mr. House, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so cool, and how he was very skeptical and very kind of cocky throughout the discussion, because he definitely has his own plans for how he wants to run the wasteland, and I think they did such a good job portraying that in that boardroom scene. It was so cool. I loved that.
Yeah. He barely had any lines, and yet he purely captured Mr. House's vibe. How we would imagine him IRL, not like damn near mummified.
Yeah, and especially with like, it really not only did it justify the time we spent with Cooper in the flashback scenes before the war, which I did enjoy those, but like that climax of the story peaking right there, the way they lined it up with both timelines and the reveals was just so well done, and I loved that so much. Seeing pre-war stuff mixed with the post-war stuff and the current timeline story was, I think, really well done. Loved that, and the reveal of Overseer McLean's shitty past. Nice subversion. I loved that so much. The drama, the story. I loved all of that, and of course, you know, going off on saying about where we're gonna go in the future is like gonna be like they showed that skyline of New Vegas.
Yeah,
super hyped, but super worried too.
A little worried.
Because we care about it so much, but I think as far as these adaptations go, I think we're in better hands than most franchises. So
absolutely.
I would like to say a few more quick ones, just like run through them quick. So like I said, it's a lot of little things that do it for me, and I felt like this show checked a lot of little boxes. You know, the guy in the voting booth that just wouldn't stop. Like talking politics all like the whole way there. Like no one's gonna change their mind this late in. I feel like we all know someone like that. He felt like someone you know. You know?
Yeah.
I like that relatability. It felt lived and he felt like a real person.
Mm-hmm.
One-Eyed Jerry
One-eyed
the guy
Jerry.
the guy that voices Jerry and Rick and Morty,
Chris
you know? Yeah, yes, thank you.
That I did
don't
not
know why.
expect to love that section of the show as much as I did, because that was so fucking funny, dude.
Yeah,
The mystery,
I don't know. I enjoyed his character.
like a nice subversion, because it was like you know that there's this undertone of like something's fucked up here, you know, and it still managed to be fucking hilarious, you know, by the end, because like Maximus comes in, he's trying to fuck everyone up and trying to save everybody, and they're just like, "We're going to commit you to death by exile. We're gonna let you go.
Just
Well,
go
you'll
outside.
definitely die."
You will die, certainly.
Well, you'll certainly die.
I liked that when Max revealed to Lucy that he lied about who he was and, you know, all this crap, that she didn't give a shit. That no one gave a shit. Because, like, we've seen that set up a billion times, and it's always, like, the, like, breaking moment of, like, relationships or whatever in the movie, like, just before, like, the return on a hero's journey, you know? It's like that break it point. You lied to me. I don't know who you are. You're a stranger. I don't trust you. Whatever. And they just completely brushed over and was like, "Yeah, no, that's cool. This place sucks." Like, I don't blame you for lying to me. I didn't know who you were. You know, like,
It was
you
nice.
know, I don't know that. I like that. I like that in the writing. Whatever.
Also,
I liked that the
go ahead.
that the chicken fucker. I liked.
He's just a recurring character that was just so fucking. He just kept being funny to me.
Yeah, I liked that his I thought he made us think he had like this holistic stim pack. Yeah. And instead he just turned into a fucking ghoul. I guess it was like some ghoul serum. He just infected him pretty much instead. Like, here, we can probably take a moment real quick to.
I really liked because you know there's like in Fallout 4 they have like the violin guy that just plays on like the Minuteman radio, and I like how they included that somehow into this show. And there's Fred Armisen. He's just like, yeah, I just like playing the radio. I like playing the violin. You know, it's just a really nice instrument. And as they pan out and they just see all these booby traps of all these people that have been killed by him because they want to shut him up because they're tired of his violin, tired of him playing the fiddle.
Right. Really catchy.
It was really
just
catchy.
For that loud neighbor.
Oh, yeah. That was so fucking funny. I loved that.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good placement humor. It may have been a little out of place, but I don't think it was too extreme, like for what it was. You know,
like in any other series, it would be out of place. But I think because of the way that they had handled the tone and everything so well, I think that it works in this.
Yeah, no, it absolutely did. Like my only complaint on their jokes was just the Prego water spill one. Like, it was just like, what the fuck? Okay.
Oh, yeah, dude. I also like the Norm storyline was great, especially with like the Bud Askins. He's like, hold still right there, and he's just a little fucking brain and a robot and a Roomba.
Yeah, I was actually gonna bring dude, fucking the fucking Robo brain. More like fucking Roomba brain, you know?
Roomba brain, yeah.
Yeah, like just this fucking tiny Robo brain.
He just kind of just lightly steps out of the way.
Alright.
Oh, it was really funny. But
that one was good.
Norm ends up being more of the Chad, and that guy Chet, I think his name was, just fucking total beta, dude. Just fucking wants to live in the dream of the vault, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It was totally fucking cool. I really loved a lot of this series, man, and I'm looking forward to cautiously optimistic about the next season.
Indeed, same. Cautious, but I think we'll be okay. I think we almost have like some kind of, I shouldn't say PTSD because that's insulting to people who actually have that, but some kind of like almost it's hard to trust franchises converting, like people taking different people taking over our beloved franchises. You know, I mean, we've I don't even have to name names. Everyone listening is thinking of 1 or 20 right now.
Yeah,
you know,
how
um,
we've been dirty by video game adaptations, but
or any adaptations, anime to TV, just all of it. Like.
Yeah,
if I see one more terrible Avatar: The Last Airbender adaptation, I'm gonna lose it, dude. I'm gonna lose it. Like, just let it be.
Yeah,
just let them have an actual Zuko movie or whatever. Like, come on.
yeah. Like,
ugh.
There's a lot of trust and a lot of love for the source material, and that makes me really happy. And I just hope that they bring that same love. It's going to be really hard for this next season. This next season is going to be really hard. I'll pause.
Yeah.
I'll pause for a second.
Okay.
But now, looking forward to this next season, it's just going to be. And, we got to take into account, we're working with a fan base that is very passionate about Fallout. I'm passionate about it too, but I think I hold.
I think we all are.
Yeah, I think you and I, I think we can.
With Suzant.
Yeah, and Suzant could have like some leniency on things, but especially with how good this first season was, I am very nervous about the second season because there's a lot of moving parts to New Vegas because that's what it is. Skyline in New Vegas, they're going to New Vegas. It's gonna be a lot to handle, and I hope they handle it well. And I really look forward to hopefully another good season.
Another thing to point out about this show is that it's been interesting that aside from the whole Vault-Tec thing, which is the whole Vault-Tec bomb thing, which I think was probably the biggest controversy of the show. Aside from that, they basically working with where they're trying to make it so they don't, remove any lore, previously established lore, but also at the same time they're working in between video games that have multiple endings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Begs the question, who do you think in this series they're going to have be the winner of New Vegas? Who do you think is going to be the winner?
Yeah, I know. I don't have an answer for that.
Personally, I think it's going to be Mr. House. The House always wins. And they foreshadowed him with his little cameo in the dark room.
And if this is before New Vegas, we know Mr. House is thriving.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be after New Vegas.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
After Vegas. So.
Okay. Well, that's just it, though. Is Mr. House even alive? Because that's the issue.
Yeah.
With the different endings. I've killed him more times than I've spared him. I'm like, as much as I like him as a character, I don't like siding with Mr. House. I mean, he is good for for New Vegas. I mean to say.
Yeah.
But outside of New Vegas, I mean, you can give less of a shit. Like,
yeah. Well, even
if you only care about New Vegas, you side with Mr. House. You know,
even in Fremont Street. I mean, Freeside in New Vegas. It's like that. Those areas he doesn't really care.
Yeah, this segregation. That's all Mr. House.
But I think if the show really wants to, for me, and I know they could take it a different direction. I think they probably will end up, but I think for me the most logical step would be Mr. House won over the Hoover Dam and everything like that. He's the ultimate victor of this, and maybe the
well, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have a lot of explaining to do if that's the way it goes. Yeah. Because, like I said, with multiple endings, I mean, how do you even make it clear to people what's happening? And then does that make your ending non-canon? And I mean, it's just it's kind of a mess, really. It's a very tight rope they're walking. I think they're walking it just fine, but I mean, it is. I'm just trying to kind of look at how difficult it. Of a writing situation they actually kind of are in.
Yeah.
Not at their own accord, but with what they're given to work with.
Well, especially since they said that they made an official statement saying that the events of New Vegas are all canon. So
Yeah, but what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Multiple endings.
And I
what
think
does that mean?
one of the things that I'm also really worried they're gonna do, and I think that this is what might end up happening, is that none of the factions really came out on top. That they all kind of destroyed each other is what I'm afraid they're gonna do. It's possible, and they can still make that work, but I just feel like it's a
Someone's
little,
gonna climb the top of the mountain and stick a flagpole in it. Like,
yeah.
you
But I
know,
think,
I mean,
judging by the mountain of Securitrons they had, I'm guessing it's probably gonna be something like all of them took too heavy a losses and they destroyed each other in the conflict and they started dying off. I mean,
I don't think people are gonna like that.
I don't think people like that. I wouldn't really like that either, but you could see it from a writing standpoint.
It's the
saying
true
that,
neutral stance.
yeah,
It's the one that appeases everybody, but not really. Like, everybody's equally disappointed.
yeah. Like, well, you see, there is an opportunity to say, like, yeah, Caesar's legion fell apart and they lost strength because Caesar died of his brain tumor.
Right,
The NCR lost a lot of power because of all the shady sands brought
right.
on by
And then what
Mr.
happened
McLean.
to? I'm trying to remember the name of that power plant in New Vegas where you can get the Archimedes.
Oh, fuck.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't. But that's just what happens with that, because you get to decide that one too. Who takes that over? You know, in a decision in the game. So
I think
that's just my whole point is, what do you even do with these standards of don't break the lore, but also it has like 4 different fucking endings you got to avoid.
Yeah. Yeah. And the worst
or
thing I think
bring them together. I don't know.
I think there has to be a decision to make a canon ending, which is why I think fully the most opportunity, the most economy you'll get out of a storytelling device is if Mr. House won, because he's not really a good guy. The NCR has already been out, lost their power, so like they're not really like a strong point to make about New Vegas. Plus, House is kind of like Mr. New Vegas. His destiny, his whole identity, everything about him is tied to New Vegas. Whereas the Legion, you could have pop up in other storylines later on down the line.
Yeah,
I think House fits a great antagonist, a great storyline.
and he's familiar. You know, a lot of people are already familiar with him.
Especially with him in that cameo too. Like it feels like that's a natural setup for the next season, is to have Mr. House be the main, maybe frenemy. I won't say antagonist totally, because he doesn't really operate like that, right?
He is. He can operate with mutual beneficiaries. You know, where we both come out on top. But the house does always win. You know, if it's between you and him, he will win. But he will also allow you both to split the pot, so to say.
That's why I think he'd be a perfect foil to our main character, Lucy, because he is very forward thinking. He has ties to her family too, especially being
her mom. Oh, not her mom, and the ghoul too. The ghoul's wife. You know, at the meeting.
There's a lot of storytelling elements to kind of tie into each other, and I think Mr. House would just be a fantastic option to go with.
Yeah.
I really hope they take that route.
You know? And a lot of people really like. I mean, back then, but even more so, even now, it was almost ahead of its time in the whole having not necessarily AI, but having this kind of, this digital reflection, or a digital suit of what used to be you. You know what I mean? Although actually, Mr. House is run by his actual brain.
Is run by his brain, but that's an interesting idea too. Of like, what if Mr. House did die, but like his
he had a backup AI file or something.
He would do that. He would do shit like that.
Oh, he would. He's got to have a backup, because that is the thing about Mr. House. Is he plans way ahead. He already thought of this 100 years ago. Like,
So I mean, I really think it would be a lost opportunity to say Mr. House lost the war. of Hoover Dam, the Battle of Hoover Dam. I think that he would be the ultimate beneficiary. Even if the NCR technically won, he could still be around and kicking and kind of take over after the NCR fell apart.
Yeah. Because that's just it. He'd have to, if someone else took over that power, he'd have to get that power from them. And,
and it would be a great...
it'd be a war, in itself. So
It'd be a great point of exposition, too, for Lucy to be, like, trying to find her father and where he went. The Ghoul and him. The Ghoul would obviously have interest in him because he was very relevant to his time before the war,
Yeah, he also can lay down a lot more intelligence, and maybe even a more serious tone in the show,
Yeah, I could just hear his monologues just being badass, like they were in New Vegas, just like his raw intelligence and level of insecurity, still kind of like his way of speaking, of always feeling like he's in control and kind of make you feel like he's in control.
Well, that's he's trying to. It's like, who are you trying to convince, me or you?
Yeah. And
with Mr. House and his insecurities.
It would be really great to see that, and hopefully we can see some more of Jacobstown too. It would be kind of neat too, because we could finally see super mutants.
Yeah, we didn't see any super mutants. We didn't see any Death Claws.
We saw Death Claw skull.
Yeah, we did see a skull, so there is hint at them existing, which of course we know they do.
Yeah,
and I'm sure it'll probably be in season 2. But.
Which I think was a great decision not to put Death Claws in there, because that was something the big problem with Fallout 4 was. In the intro you fight a Death Claw in the beginning, and it's like, these are supposed to be the big badass motherfuckers you should be avoiding. And you kill one in the first maybe 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
It showed a level of restraint in the show that they didn't have for Fallout 4.
Maybe even a level of respect for the Death Claws,
Yeah.
I think we see more in like 3 in New Vegas.
Yeah, and I just hope that it does take off really well. Unfortunately, we lost Suzant. I guess his power. He lost his power in his house, but we'll kind of wrap this up.
I'd just like to say that in wrapping it up, that it's crazy to think that how close we are on a daily basis to IRL Fallout.
Yeah.
I hope that the show and the games remain like a stark reminder because of like the repercussions of like power and corrupt hands.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure we know war never changes.
Maybe this show is just a Todd Howard's cry for help. Like, this is what it's like. People in power, they're deciding for me.
Right? That's what I felt with Obsidian.
Obsidian.
He's probably feeling about this show right now, that other people are doing my franchise better, even though it's not really his franchise. Really is Elder Scrolls, and I wish they'd fucking make more.
They'd make more, and I think too is real baby is Starfield, and unfortunately, it's not been going well. But I
barely played Starfield. I played a little bit on cloud gaming. I didn't really give it a fair shot, so I can't really say much. But
I just know that a lot of people are dogging on it. I just want the best for Bethesda, because Bethesda's given me a lot of really good childhood games, and I really hope that they can give me more and give, hopefully, the next generation more great experiences in gaming. And in now, the TV show, hopefully, people who are in older generations who never really got into the games can really appreciate this, because younger generations will appreciate the games, but older generations, this stuff is something that they can appreciate too. It's a lot of love for a time that was long gone.
Might even get an older generation into gaming.
Maybe. Shirley Curry's want to play.
Well, and they're offline games,
Yeah.
It's nice thing they're offline games. You don't have to worry about some asshole sniping you every second, You know, Grandpa can actually explore, you know, Skyrim or wherever the fuck, you know,
Yeah. You get to enjoy that
Fallout, you know.
fantasy. That's all. The best we can do is hope, and hope that they do really. This next season will be great.
Yeah,
Because this first season was rock solid, and yes,
it was good. It was the best we could have hoped for.
Yeah, we have our complaints, but I mean, we could also talk about it in a way that's like this still works for the show.
Yeah. Well, nothing's perfect, you know. Everything is gonna have. You're gonna have some complaints of, especially when we talk about from everyone. You know, you think it's impossible to have one person have no complaints. You know, try a million. You know, or 10 million, a billion. Like it's like.
Yeah,
People are going to complain no matter what you do, but the thing is to take notes of what will help you and what will hurt you, and what you know your vision implies, and yet also taking such a beloved franchise seriously, not as yourself and what you would do, but as a whole for the thing. I mean, we talked about a long time ago about like Velma, you know, and them just like what if what's her face was Daphne, you know, instead, you know, she just made herself Daphne. She got, you know, and we got to watch. We just watch her cosplay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry. Jesus Christ, Velma. It's not Daphne. My bad. That's still my bad. But you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
You know. Instead, it's not like Jon Favreau or whatever. Like.
Yeah. It's
just putting himself in there.
Yeah. It's people who love the series and wanted to expand on it. Tell their story.
Made by Fallout fans, for Fallout fans, and even for non-Fallout fans to then become Fallout fans. Like
the thing is, they leaned into things that made Fallout great, and that broadens the appeal more. Because if you trust in the source material, you trust in the things that made the series so good, then other people will appreciate it now that it's in a more expansive medium.
Yeah.
So I hope they keep it up.
Yeah, me too. But so far, I've been very happy with what they've done so far with Fallout first season.
Yeah. Anyway, we should close that out as our final remarks. As you said, war never changes. That was such a good fucking way to end it, and I just kept going. But
no, it's great.
We love you guys.
Love you guys. Thank you
for listening. 5 people who stayed. Thank you.
You're awesome. Here's your crown, king or queen.
All right. Love you guys. Good night.
Night.